Y'all, I was like,
I'm so hungry. I'm so hungry right now.
hello beautiful people. Thank you guys so much for tuning into my channel. I am Darla and you are tuned into The 30 Journey. Here we're on a faith and fulfilled journey through our 30s, and I'm so happy you decided to join me for this video today. All right fam, so in this video we are talking about my 21-day fast. If you have been watching from the very beginning of this year, you would know that I did a 21-day fast at the beginning of the year from January 1st to January 21st. And on the 22nd, which is my birthday, was when I was able to celebrate doing my first intermittent fast. This is my first time really doing a fast like this. I remember I did a fast during the summer of 2019, which allowed me to only eat during a certain time of day. And during that fast, it quickly turned into more of dieting than fasting, because all it ended up being was me kind of just skipping meals, and that's not what I wanted to do. So this was a little bit different for me. I'm really excited to share what happened during this time because it was very powerful. So if you are interested, please keep on watching. So what I did this time around was an intermittent fast. It was only allowing me to eat for a specific time of day. In the beginning, for the first 10 days, what I did was fasted from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So I could only eat before 6 a.m. and I could only eat after 6 p.m. Even after 6 p.m., I made sure that I was still eating no later than 8 p.m. I quickly found out that when I was eating early in the morning, because like I told you guys, I was waking up a little bit earlier, and I'll get into that in a minute, I was making sure that I ate breakfast before 6 a.m. before the sunrise. And what was happening is because I was not used to eating that early, I felt like I was like stuffing myself and it didn't really feel good. So what I made sure that I did was I put a little bit of something on my stomach and I went to work. So for the last 11 days of the fast, because like I told you, the first 10 was the 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. The last was actually from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. So that means I could actually eat breakfast and I could eat a little bit of dinner. I did restrict myself on what I could eat and also how much of it that I could eat. I did that because I did not want it to quickly turn into me stuffing and, you know, overeating. As the days were going by, I was realizing how much I should eat, how much I shouldn't eat, what I should eat, what I shouldn't eat. But the biggest thing was how my body was kind of reacting to the food that I was eating and when I was eating it as well. So it allowed me to see all of those different things during those times, and it allowed me to make sure that I was paying attention to this, so that way this was something that I can carry with me, not just during the fast, but afterwards as well. What I fasted from was sugar and sweets, mainly processed sweets. The only thing I allowed myself to have was natural sugar, which is of course in fruit. So I allow myself to have almond butter as well. So almond butter with like my fruits and different things like that was like my kind of treat. And I honestly stuck with it. I stuck through it. I had cravings, I had temptations. No sweets, no pastries, no candy. So this is what I am eating for a snack after dinner. Just gala apple and some almond butter. I have a job where people love to bring pastries and stuff all the time, so I'm always tempted. We're in carnival season, so that means king cakes galore. So that was really good for me because it really tested me a lot. because I had to say no to a lot of stuff. And one thing that I did not want to do on my fast is tell everyone, oh, I can't eat it because I'm fasting or whatever and stuff like that. And what I'll usually say sometimes is I'll say I'm on a challenge right now, as opposed to saying I'm fasting. I always made sure that I packed like an apple every day and brought my almond butter and different things like that to make sure that I had something when those cravings would come about. Another thing I did on my fast as well was I fasted from social media. So this has kind of gotten a little bit easier for me, so it's not really so much of a fast for me anymore. Now I'm getting down to the deeper issues with social media for me. I can't speak for everybody else. So a lot of times social media is a distraction from the things that you should be doing. And what I realized during this fast is social media is kind of that breakaway from when I'm not focusing on doing the things that I know I should be doing. So even though I didn't have the social media to distract me, I had to make sure that I was putting my attention on the things that were more important and staying the course with that as well. That was another test, and I'm actually about to go on another fast really soon during Lent. So I want y'all to know that I will not be on social media for 40 plus days. I will make sure that I'm putting out videos like I told you guys every Friday, so you can look forward to that. I will be dropping a video every week, like I said, staying on schedule, but I am making sure that I am taking the time to branch away from social media to focus on the things that are more important for my brain. So one of the things that was really hard for me on this fast was hunger. So there was a lot of times where I was very hungry.
I'm so hungry. I'm so hungry right now.
It was hard. It was hard. But what I quickly realized was that it is important to make sure you are staying busy, staying productive, but also making sure that you are staying connected to God. Like I told y'all, during the summer of 2019, I was kind of starting to fast. It wasn't really a fast because, like I told y'all, it quickly turned into a diet because it was just me skipping meals. I really wasn't getting in the presence of God. Like, I really was making it more so about, hey, how long can I really go without eating this? Or how long can I do without doing this? It's different things like that, you know, and it becomes a lot about you. And what God wants you to do a lot of times during a fast is to depend on Him, is to allow Him to work in and through you, because what He wants to see more than anything is your heart posture. That's why for me, a lot of times when I do come off a fast, I kind of go into binge mode. So, you know, I've been fasting for so long and it's like, gimme, 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 after, you know, I've been without something for so long, and that's not what I want. Like, I don't want to fast just to go hard 2 days later from what I fasted from. Like, that doesn't make sense. So when it comes to really fighting temptations and really handling the things that are really hard during a fast, make sure that you're staying in the presence of God, because that is what He wants more than anything. Not to see that you can give up this and you can give up that. That's for you. But to see your heart posture and to see what changes and what's happening with you internally and spiritually, that can bring you closer to Him. So I got sick on my fast, y'all. So what I had to make sure I did, which I thought I was doing, was to drink a lot of water. Make sure that you are staying hydrated. I didn't realize what was really going on, and it was because I was dehydrated a lot. I was drinking water, but I wasn't drinking enough water. You got to remember, you're missing meals, so you're not eating. Once I realized what was going on, I made sure that I drank a lot of water. So I really want to recommend that to you guys. If you are thinking about fasting, please stay hydrated. Also, I realized that it is important to stay busy. I remember a few days on my fast, I was like getting so much done, and by the time I finished getting everything that I needed to get done, it was time to eat, and I didn't even realize that I wasn't eating. Staying busy and staying productive is one of the great things that allowed me to kind of get my mind off of not being able to eat. Y'all, there were so many things that God revealed to me during this time. It was really, really powerful. One of the things that I want to share, because I can't share everything, one of the things I do want to share with y'all though was the fact that I told you guys that I have visions. I have visions. That's how God really speaks to me, through visions. And the beautiful thing about having visions is I don't bring them about. Like, I don't think about, hey, I want to have a vision, God, or something like that. Like, it literally comes out of nowhere. And I remember a few mornings I was in tears because of what God was showing me. And I was just like, yo, fam, like, yo, you doing a lot. And I say that respectfully, but it was just so much that God was showing me throughout these days. especially early in the morning. I was really not expecting one vision in particular, and it was just so beautiful, and so beautiful. And it really allowed me to see like where my heart was, even though, you know, I tell you guys all the time about relationships and companionship and things that I'm not really focused on. God makes me focus on that stuff, and I really thank him for doing that, because it allows me to see that those things are very important as well. I think I get sidetracked a lot of times when it comes to building and doing the things that I really want to do. I have to make sure that I am thinking about the things that are really important to me too, even though they might not be important to me right now. A lot of times early in the morning, God was revealing a lot of things about, you know, my future husband, and I'm just gonna be honest, it was so beautiful. I know it's gonna come into fruition. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. Anything that I wanted in my life, God reminds me of this all the time, I get. Like, anything that I've ever said that I wanted for myself, I've always gotten. House, car, whatever it is. Like, those are material things, but more than anything, like the wisdom, the joy, the happiness, true happiness, finding that within before actually looking, you know, outward for it is something that I really take with me all the time. So another thing that God revealed to me on this fast was healing. He really gave me the notion of being healed from something, and I'm not ready to express that right now, but I will say that so far it has been true. Trusting in God and doing what it is that he is asking of me, you know, is not always easy, but one of the things that he did provide for me was healing from something, and it was on the very last day of my fast. I don't want to get into the details of that right now, but I will say it was once again very powerful, something that was very unexpected, which is usually how God works in my life. I really am so grateful for it, because it's one of the things that's going to allow me to continue to stay on the path that I'm on to do what it is that I'm called to do. So one thing I want to tell you guys is about writing and just how powerful it is to just write. Throughout this fast, I was writing every single day. So one thing that I would do would be at 6:00 p.m. when I was able to eat, I would sit down in complete silence and eat my dinner and just talk to God. Like, I would just talk to God. And I would have my notebook there as well. What I would do is make sure that I was writing certain things that he might have been telling me that I wanted to just make notes of. And then before bed, I would kind of journal. So it was really very powerful, a lot of the things that I was receiving. Remember, I finished 3 books throughout that time of the fast as well. And one of them was the 4 Agreements, which I have been procrastinating on for so long. I don't know what took me so long to read the 4 Agreements, because that book is bomb. And I really made sure that I was starting to apply those agreements to my life as well, which is something that I really needed during that time. Writing is so powerful. I would recommend that to anyone. I tell y'all that all the time. I tell you about my journals all the time. I let y'all know that that is one of the most powerful ways to hear from God. And also, you know, like I told you guys, for me personally, the visions. Write the vision, make it plain, right? The main thing that fasting taught me is structure. I find that when I don't have those boundaries, like, I just kind of could go ham. And I think this is one lesson that I can just take into life in general. Like, it is important for us to have boundaries. Where we're living, in the times that we're living in now, is already chaos. Like, it is already pure chaos. And this is with laws and restriction. And just think about not having restriction or having laws or having structure. Like, everything would be completely chaotic. That's why I personally believe in the Bible the way that I do. I believe that there were reasons why things were put in place the way that they were, and things that people had to abide by and do. Believing is one of the things that is so easy to do, but is so hard for us to do. I think it's created that way for a reason. And fasting, definitely allows you to grow closer to God, especially if you allow yourself to be led during that time, if you allow yourself to be obedient during that time. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope it encourages you to maybe one day take a step into fasting and prayer and to allow God to lead you in that way. It was very powerful for me, and I look forward to Lent. Even though I'm not Catholic, I always give up things for Lent. Like I said, it is going to be social media, but it's going to be a little bit more attached to that, so I'm very, very excited to see where God leads me on that journey. If you enjoyed this video, guys, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not subscribed, we don't know what you're waiting for, because we're great. Like, my 30 Journey fam is continuing to grow, and I love interacting with you guys in the comments. So please leave a comment below if you have fasted before, if you have any advice for us. Let us continue to encourage you. So if that is something that you want to do, have done, want to give us, you know, feedback on your experience, please do. We would love to hear it. If you are interested in joining the Facebook community or following on Instagram, please make sure you do. Those links are below. I will be on Facebook every Friday while I'm away, interacting with you guys, so make sure you like the page. As always, fam, remember to keep God first and to stay winning spiritually. Peace.